is me, Rowan Huang. It's my honor to have Juri Watanabe on my show again. We can't wait to hear all the story about her. You guys will love her story. And thank you, Shirley from Spark Windsy to connect us together. It's amazing that she did a great job to always find those like open book, authentic people to share their lovely story with us. So, Shirley, why don't you introduce our guest?
Hi, everyone. I'm Shirley. Thank you, Rowan, for inviting me back. For many of you who have followed Rowan, you have undoubtedly witnessed the incredible transformations of her fans since they embark on her Love Yourself journey and the courses, right? So today we're incredibly fortunate to have Juri with us to share her inspiring story. From a girl next door in the US, Juri blossomed into Miss Universe Japan 2021. Her inner work ignited her confidence, leading a profound transformation both inside and out. Born to a Japanese father and a Korean mother, Juri's multicultural background instilled in her a deep appreciation for diversity and a global perspective. As Miss Universe Japan 2021, her inspiring journey is a testament to the power of embracing one's individuality, pursuing one's dreams, and using one's platform to uplift others. So please join us in welcoming Juri to Rowan's show. Yay!
Thank you. You almost ran out of breath there.
I know.
We don't have a lot of time, and Rowan always tells me I speak too much about like the amazing accomplishment of our guest, you know, and I'm just like, there's so much to tell. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, but let's hear it from Juri herself. Hi, Juri. Tell us about you.
Thank you so much for having me on today. The reason why we are all laughing is because my dog is, as you can hear in the background, trying to communicate, but I think is just trying to grab some attention from me. So apologies in advance.
Yes.
But it's so exciting to be here, and I'm very excited to also talk to you, Rowan, because I think we share similar beliefs in the journey of self-love and how important that is into becoming or reaching your fullest potential, and you know, to have a purpose on this earth, this one life that we have.
Yeah, this one life we have.
Yes. So I'm really excited to be here to talk more and share my journey.
Yeah, well, can't wait. As you guys heard earlier, like Shirley was mentioning, like Juri was actually transforming from the girl next door to the way you look at her right now. I'm pretty sure many of you cannot imagine what she would look, whatever, because you look so, you know, like beautiful and shy out there. It's hard for people to imagine it. So with your permission, I'm gonna show people what you look like before, so you know they can connect the story together. Let me try this. So this is what you look like, hey?
Yeah, so, I mean, smile still.
Well, still beautiful smile, but as many of you must be able to relate, like now you can put, you know, side to side. This is what she looked like before, but then look at how beautiful she is today now. So I'm pretty sure you guys must, you know, expecting a good story. So Juri, share with us. I mean, obviously you grow up in a family of Japanese and Korean, right?
Yes. So my father is Japanese and my mother's Korean.
Yeah.
And they met in Hong Kong studying Mandarin. So very international to begin with.
Yeah.
And I was born and raised in Japan.
Yeah.
And so I had a very multicultural upbringing.
Yeah. So do you, I mean, for a lot of Asian who do not know the culture very well, I'm pretty sure, do you find like struggle or conflict to grow up in between like Korean culture? I mean, even though they're very similar, but I believe they must be a lot different as well, right? So do you find,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, just do share with us, like, as you upbringing, like, what do you find the most struggle with Korean and the Japanese mixture?
Sure. I think in general, the Asian identity perhaps is, there are a lot of similarities with all the countries in Asia, but it's a huge continent. And even though Japan and Korea is close in geographical locations, the cultures are definitely very different. I mean, first thing, language is a big thing. Right? What you can express in the Korean language is different from what you can express in the Japanese language. Same thing as English, right? Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, all the languages, what you can express is different from the other. And oftentimes what I found within the household was that I didn't really know how to express myself clearly, and clearly, authentically, and directly to either one of my parents. Because my father only understood Japanese, and my mother, while she can speak Japanese, her native language is Korean. So, I don't know if you have like Asian Americans or immigrants or people who learn English. We tend to mix the languages to whatever is easier for us, right? So I couldn't like fully express myself ever in either one of those languages growing up. So I think that was the big struggle to begin, first big struggle.
Okay. So even growing up in like this is a home setting, right? So growing up even with a Japanese dad in Japan, but with Korean mom, for example, did you ever struggle to find a sense of belonging? Like even though people think, well, what's a conflict, right? But
for sure. So as many of may know, with the rise of the show Pachinko, there is a very deep complicated history between Japan and Korea. So my parents' marriage was a difficult one to begin with, but it's very they got approval from both sides. Luckily, that's why I'm here. But I think being in Japan, there wasn't while my Korean identity was very important to me and for my mother to pass on, there wasn't a place where we can like truly express that. This was way before K-drama and K-pop being popular and so on.
For sure.
And so that was difficult, but another thing was just my physical beauty. I'm told, and as we discussed briefly earlier, I'm told I don't look Japanese. And I would be told that all the freaking time. Like in Japan, I'm fluent in Japanese, but people would always try their best to speak to me in English. Which is like, thank you for trying your best, but like I would even speak in Japanese to them, but I would still like be treated like, oh no, you're probably a foreigner.
Oh, that your Japanese is so good.
Exactly. And I really struggled with that. I just wanted to be, I wanted a community so badly, and I wanted to belong. So I felt really isolated at times. And then the same thing happened when I moved here at a young age, where people would say, oh, you're so good at English instead of you're so good at Japanese. So everywhere I went, I was like, who am I?
I can only imagine how many audience out there can really relate to that. Like that sense of belonging, it seems like very hard for you. Like if you grow up in this kind of environment, even though you are there, you speak fluent Japanese, people still treat you like an outsider. Till from I know you moved to US pretty young at 13, right? The people would definitely see you as an immigrant, or you're not born and raised here, and treat you like an Asian, right? I want you to share a little bit about this whole struggle of constantly try to find a sense of belonging, find a place that you belong, find a group that you belong, because I really believe many young people out there, that's what they struggle the most too, right? They don't know how to identify themselves, or replace themselves or even seek for that sense of belonging. Like you must have that deep feeling or deep understanding of that. Can you share a little bit of that with
Yeah,
us?
definitely. I mean, in the moment, and when I was younger, I was like, so I was very sad and I felt very alone.
Yeah.
I felt like no one understood me. And I couldn't talk to anyone about it because no one understood me. I mean, I had loving friends and family, and who cared about me deeply, but like in the bigger picture, I felt like this struggle was something that I was going through by myself because I just didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. No one had the same background as I did. But the older I got, something that I realized, and the reality is every single one of us is different, even though if you're born in the same community, same country, so on. Every single person is different. It's just that we have, the label of country, city, whatnot. But I think when you're younger, you just don't realize that.
Yeah.
Right?
But what pushed that breakthrough though? Because, people believe if you're given time that eventually they will grow up, but I believe that is not true. Usually something happens. See, I
Sorry,
told
there's
you.
a special guest.
No, I told you he got something to say.
That really took me by surprise. I'm so sorry.
No. Since the get-go, I told you he got something to say.
Yeah. It's like, let me tell you about my owner.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't get me started. Yes.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
No, I was just saying that, because everybody, this is how I see how nowadays generation do. They fighting with a sense of belonging, and then they believe all they have to do is sit and wait. Then eventually that maturity will kick in. But then the reality is like, things happen, circumstances happen. Therefore, it push you to have that breakthrough, like, you know what? Like, enough is enough. And, I had to learn to accept. I had to learn to do this. But I'm just curious what happened with you.
Yeah.
Like, what have you gone through that pushed you to have that understanding everybody's different?
Yeah. Well, everyone's different. That understanding of myself, or even just like a general idea. The moment, people say that all the time, right? But when I truly started to understand that was after I did my inner work, when I really did work on myself. But the journey to begin with, or I guess the starting point was when I was at the lowest of the low with my confidence and self-esteem. I was really struggling with anxiety, and I had a mild form of depression. And that was impacting, I think like my lowest point was in college, second year of college. And in the photo that you just showed earlier was of me first year in college. And you can tell.
No, I cannot tell, but yes.
You can. Well, like I was breaking out, right?
Yes.
Because I just didn't care how I looked like, because I thought, who would care about me, right? And I was like, whatever I did to my body, like, I don't care because I don't really belong here. I wasn't treating my body well. I was eating terribly. Something I wasn't treating my body as a temple, so to speak. And it was just going downhill. Like I was doing so terribly at school. Before I was like an all A student, and I, was excelling, although I had to really, really work hard for that. I was, had that motivation, but by the time of my lowest low, I didn't have that motivation. I didn't care what I did. I was, abusing my health, which is very, very important to all of us, right? But I just didn't see the value in that.
Yeah, it's really hard to imagine you would ever think that low of yourself. I mean, most of people must be like me, sitting in front of, monitor thinking, what is she talking about? Like, how could she possibly ever feel low of herself? And then, obviously, after this feeling very low of yourself, you make a very bold and impulsive decision to join the pigeon.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's talk about, like, that is not something people say, oh, yeah, let's go to the pigeon tomorrow. Yes. Tell us about that. Like, how does one possibly be as low as you describe it? I'm going to show people your pigeon. Otherwise, they think I'm making up a story. Yeah, how could you possibly go from as low as you describe it and then to decide to join the Miss, Universe Japan?
So Miss Universe Japan was like the last competition I did. To get there, it was years of on and off of doing pageantry, but obviously everyone started somewhere, and my started somewhere was a little push from my Korean mother. It always starts with mothers in our community. Yes. But her reason behind it. But like her reason behind it was really like she saw me at this low, and I don't know if she felt that if she knew that I was struggling with anxiety, because even I didn't really know that it was anxiety and depression. But she just wanted me to take care of myself again. Like she did, she wanted me to care to live, honestly, and like live with a purpose. And that's why she said that. And I was like, I think the only mindset at that time that helped me was, okay, what do I have to lose by joining?
Yeah. If you're already in the rock bottom.
Yeah. Wow. So somehow that was like a good mindset in a way, right? At least it pushed me to just try something.
You didn't just try, you won it.
I did. My first I won my first pageant. It was a local pageant, but I was almost addicted to the transformation that I saw in myself that I didn't think was possible.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kept trying, and eventually I became Miss Universe Japan.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah, my dog said yes too.
Wow. I don't know. You really hired a very talkative dog. I mean, if I give him a microphone, he's gonna sing along the whole way. No, we appreciate all the animals. Yeah, no, it's just very amazing that the story it goes from like you really don't have any confidence of yourself to yes, maybe with a little bit push. Actually, join the pigeon is also out of your comfort zone, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, you have to wear a bikini, which like I hated my body.
Yeah.
Like, why would I wear a bikini and walk in front of hundreds and thousands of people? No way.
Yeah. So, you didn't just go out of comfort zone. We talk about getting out of your comfort zone. You literally just jump.
I did. I was thrown into the deep end, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Wow. But this is how universe reward you by willing to do that much work for yourself. So you want that. But I guess that continue pushing you to where you are right now, obviously. I mean, along the way, you're obviously constantly pushing yourself, out of your comfort zone, challenging yourself to do some more, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm just like overall very inspiring by your story because I have met so many young people. They're out there questioning about themselves and they very often not know what to do. Very often they just sit at home and think about what part of them need to be corrected. It could be from themselves, could be from their parents, could be from the society. We don't know. And you obviously experience them all. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
do share with us like what keep you going all this year? What pushed you to become where you are right now? Right? Because many of them are experiencing what you have experienced before.
Mm-hmm.
And then they struggle.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I just
cut
I
you
would
off.
love to hear all your story. I wish you can tell me all the story of every possible moment that you have gone through. Because even though now you have great smile you share with us, but I think what people do not know is it was not easy. This smile didn't come easy. Right.
And I would, as a fan, I would love to know the transformation, the inner work you did in terms of action steps, right? Like being Asian and all with the tiger moms behind us. Like we love action steps. Here's a checklist. These are the things you do inside and out. Like this is how you achieve amazing results, right? Like I know you're also doing some coaching and whatnot. Like we would love to hear more about like what can we do?
So with what keeps me going is that right now, what keeps me going is to be able to pass on what I learned, the skills, the tools, and the knowledge to more people. Shirley mentioned the coaching, but I mean, the fact that I've seen so many people transform has been the biggest blessing. And that's been what kept me going to do what I do. But in the personal aspect is every single stage that I, challenged myself and decided to learn more and, do a competition. I saw how many doors opened up. I never had to change anything about myself, who I truly was. It's just I had to break out of that shell and only to realize the cliche of you are your own worst enemy. Right? So that it honestly, the more you do the process, you really get addicted to like, it's a dopamine hit. It's a great dopamine hit.
But you do have to like we all push ourselves back to when we were in our lowest low. It's hard for people to imagine there'll be any door open for them when they're in their lowest low, right?
Yeah. I mean, I experienced that. I mentioned when we were chatting earlier that there were weeks I didn't want to get out of bed. I was crying myself to bed because I just hated myself. And like it is hard to see that in the moment, but I think this is where the community aspect is important. And it's nice to hear someone say, hey, I believe in you. But in the end, the control is truly up to you. Like you have to take control of your reality.
Because pretty sure that when you are in your lowest low, your mom or your dad, one of them could probably come and say, hey, I believe in you. You are beautiful. You are something. But it's obviously very hard for you to resonate with it. Right.
Definitely.
So, what really actually got you to, okay, maybe I give yourself a try is either you somehow have that conversation with yourself, and then that's how you start resonate with that feeling.
I don't ever wish anyone hitting their rock bottom. But that's kind of what made, like I said, that's what made me realize like, wow, like I shouldn't be this way. This life is so precious. My parents sacrificed so much for me to be where I am. And I felt like, okay, I needed to make something out of my life. So just, I really, really encourage everyone to be able to reflect and see inside. What is it that you love about yourself? What is it that you fear? And then kind of get to that next step of, okay, like I know that I can do this. But it's okay to accept help. It's okay to say that you are not okay. I think
Yeah.
that's an important one.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, and now since it has been such a long journey, if you ever go
Mhm.
back, that you can visual yourself to be the lowest bottom right now, probably, I don't know, 18, 15, you are lying in your bedroom, you're
Mhm.
crying yourself silly, your house is
Mhm.
piled up with clothes, and you just cannot tell yourself to do anything. Let's say now you
Mhm.
somehow got this magical thing, you are able to go back
Yeah.
to talk to that girl who
Yeah.
literally just give up on
Yeah.
herself. What would you say to that girl?
I honestly would say that I know it's hard right now, but there is the light at the end of the tunnel.
There is the light.
And
Yeah.
everything that you experience now is only going to be power to your future self. So the challenges that you experience, the fear, it's not for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you have come a long way, and then you have tested it all, and then you
Yeah.
understand what it's like. So, that same sentence is basically to many of you who literally sit at home and start crying, nobody loves me. I mean, if you are not able to hear what other people say, I want you to take Juri's word just now as that's your future self talking to you at this moment, where you question your existence, question your beauty, question your, everything. Juri literally just travel from 5, 10 years back to tell you there's always the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And then you
Yeah.
will have it. So, you did a lot of good thing just by your whole story, how you transform, not only just appearance wise, also mental. You go from this kind of restricted to able to break you free. You
Mhm.
also offer some classes, I believe, because you want people to have a taste of that as well, right?
Yeah, definitely a taste
Tell us
of
about your classes.
yeah. So yeah, I definitely want people to realize the taste of their potential, so to speak. I
Sure.
think there is a power in every single one of us that we're born with, and a purpose. It's just like you said, Rowan, at the earlier of the stream, that we're just so stuck in a routine and the
Yeah.
outside noise, and we're just constantly having to do something at this modern society that we don't realize what we have already.
Yeah.
But my job, or I've taken upon myself to help people realize that there is something that you have and that needs to come out.
Yeah.
And the more that comes out, the more opportunities you are going to have that you didn't even realize that it was possible, that there are more passions that you can try out, more experiences.
Yeah.
And I do so by helping people knowing how to express themselves, because
Yeah.
that's very, very important. And also being expressive authentically.
Yeah.
Not changing who you are, just be as you are, because that's important and that is unique. That is something that no one else can take from you. So that is what I teach in the communications area. And of course, to have a strong mindset, to be able to be held accountable for your goals and your dreams. And then finally, I like to say this is the fun part, but the outer beauty part, I think that the way we know how to express ourselves is, through clothes, makeup, hair.
Yeah.
The more we feel confident in our, the more we feel confident. But if we wear something that's just like, I don't know, that's just a little rough, we're gonna
What?
feel a little
You mean
rough.
no more pajamas for me?
It's just like, I love wearing pajamas, let me tell you that, right? But I must say, like, I think people don't realize the power of just wearing something that fits you.
Yes.
And that gives you the extra boost for you to take on some little tasks, right?
Yeah.
Like when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good.
Always,
right?
always. It go hand in hand for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, it's amazing. You are offering like totally inside out classes. I mean, let's start from your behavior, your way of thinking, your expression. Then we're gonna pair up with a wonderful looking. You're gonna look very good. So obviously, if
Yeah.
people are interested in those courses, where can they find you? Your website?
Yes, you can find more information on
Let me.
my Instagram, both on my personal and in my this is my company's
This is the company
Shinka
one.
Beauty.
It's a Shinka
Yes.
Beauty. That means Shinka means
Yes.
transform.
Yes.
Transform.
Transform and transform and evolve in Japanese. And
Yeah.
my dog is very happy about that.
Yeah, no, your dog have a lot to say. I think your dog really love you, believe it or not. I mean, it's like, come on, let me add on something you guys don't know about Juri. Let me tell you everything about her. So yeah. See?
I'm trying to mute myself right there.
No, he agreed with me. I'm telling you, if we have a dog translator right now,
this is the crazy one.
see? If there's a dog translator right now, you would say everything that I just say. Let me tell you about my owner.
Yeah, so funny thing about my dog is that like when I adopted him, he was just in absolute worst shape. He's afraid of everything, so anxious, shaking all the time. He was like not going to the bathroom for a full week when he first came home.
Yeah.
And he's 2.5 years old now, and he's built a lot of confidence. He can go on walks confidently, loves making friends. And I think sometimes when I feel a little down, I look at my dog and I'm like, wow, like this is an embodiment of learning how to build confidence and how confidence can affect you, change your life.
Yeah. Like people always say how their pet would look like their owner, right? Do you agree or not? Like when you're actually adopting your dog, you kind of see the mini version of yourself.
Yeah, I mean he's a little scruff ball, but
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I spend enough time with my animal, I'm kind of like, you kind of look like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always tell
smiling now.
Yeah, I always say it to my kids. My cat. I always say my cat look mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, God.
Are you mean though?
No, I always say that. I'm like, God, you look mean. What kind of cat can look so mean like you? And then my daughter, out of the blue, would say, just like you, Mom.
So brutal. Kids could be so brutal.
Oh my God, kids are the worst. So this whole self-love, what do you learn the most from this whole self-love journey that you have gone through?
I mean, the biggest thing is like you are your own worst enemy, and that the possibilities are endless. You just it's just that you don't see it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the biggest part. And another thing is like you realize how much love and respect is around you. But you don't realize it until you love and respect yourself first.
Yeah. Then people will learn your way to respect you.
Right.
Yeah. So do you have any tips? I'm curious. If let's say 18 years old, say, yeah, I hated myself, or things like that. Obviously, at this point, you can see potential in everybody.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't matter what the people believe they're ugly or something that they can stand in front of you. You're like, I think I can make everything beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I like to talk about the magic wand,
Yeah, I believe you can. I truly believe you can. I believe people who have gone through the hardship that you did have a special talent or superpower to able to spot the beauty in everybody and able to bring it out.
I'm just like, let me prove you wrong. Yeah.
You just want to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're ugly? Oh, let me prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just so fun to, like, honestly, it's so fun to help my clients, help people transform. And it's just been like, it makes me so, so, so happy. So maybe that's a little selfish, but I love seeing that.
Well, I'm pretty sure if they are happy, they will glow too.
Oh my God,
right?
they glow. They find new careers that they're happier with, new relationships. If that's important to you, rebuilding family relationships,
For sure.
I think it's just wonderful to see that and to have a small part in that. Maybe I'm not ending world hunger, but it just, I think it
you're
makes...
making everybody beautiful. So I got no idea what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking to your, tips, I think something that I tell everyone to do is reflecting. So I really encourage, one thing that you could start today is journaling. Honestly, I think is very, very important and something that we kind of neglect to do as we get older. But I recommend doing that.
Yeah. And generally, when you talk about journaling, like, is there any specific area that they should journal, or they just like, what would you usually recommend?
So I tell my clients usually to start off the day with what they're grateful for, so like the gratitude area.
Yeah.
And talk about how what your intentions are for the day. Right. And then at the end of the day, I encourage everyone to just reflect whatever, like, what are the emotions that you felt that day? What did you feel really happy about? What made you sad? Like, track everything.
So mostly emotion, just basically reflect your whole day. At the beginning of the day, set your intention. This is a day I'm going to have. Right. And then live off your day. And then at the end of the day, reflect your emotion. Like good or bad, mark it down. That will help them understand themselves better.
Yes, I think just to understand what are your triggers, what are your traumas, right? I think it, like, reflecting is all about that, and trying to unlearn these traumas that you have, and not to be bogged down by these triggers. And the more you understand that, the more you understand who you really are, and where you want to go.
Well, definitely great advice. I mean, I always tell people to do some kind of observation so they actually know who they are, because what people do not realize is they are so educated by the society, they don't often speak up their mind.
Yes.
So they say what people want to hear, but that not necessarily what they truly want to express.
Definitely. I mean, I think, I don't know, maybe majority of this audience is going to be of the Asian background or Asian background, but I think as our society, we do really particularly struggle with that. We're the model minority, silent minority for a reason in the Western society. We want, and there's an idea being the same is important because we have to work as a community, which is very important, but sometimes you don't really speak up about who you are.
I got a random question just pop up my head. It's so random. Did you ever tell your parents, I consider you have a Japanese dad and Korean mom, have you ever tell your parents I love you?
So
I'm just curious. I got more questions come afterward, but have you? Yeah.
It's really funny, and my dogs think so, like, as well.
Your dogs say, "This is how I say I love you."
Yeah. I don't know if they love me. They actually are obsessed with me.
Yeah, for sure. That's how they show they love you.
But I definitely, it's funny because my parents, especially my dad, kind of tries to practice it recently.
Oh, so sweet.
And like I try to say it as well, but it's like it's very interesting because we still feel very shy about it.
I know. Then the reason I asked you that question is just because through the 20-something year coaching, I realized how hard it is for my client to say I love you to their parents.
Yeah.
And then they believe that's an Asian culture, right?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
like it takes like for some reason it's so difficult and like just, it doesn't roll off the tongue well.
Yeah. Because I noticed that Lala, my kids even love you, mom. I'm like, oh, that come out so easy. But then,
don't throw it around like that.
Yeah, like, do you really mean it? Like, I'm not going to mean that because it's so hard for Asian to even say that. And then not to mention their parents. Sometimes it's even hard to say that to their boyfriend or their loved one. So I really love you. It's hard for them to say. So the reason I bring up that question is, if you find it a little bit difficulty to say it to your parents, let's say, they obviously didn't abuse you, show you that they love you, but yes, it's still hard to say it. Obviously, you have a Japanese background and Korean background. Do you find that expressing love is also different?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of like the language, I think I identify more with Japanese because I grew up there. I've never lived in Korea, excuse me.
Yeah.
And in Japan, in relationships and family, like the saying "I love you" is just crazy. Whereas Koreans and the language itself is a lot more passionate, as you can tell in K-dramas.
Wow, K-drama. For me, they are both foreign language. But you mean when I speak Korean, it would be like, I really love you?
It maybe not to the extent of like, the romance languages or like the Latin languages, but like it's definitely more expressive than Japanese.
Okay,
but there in Japan, actually, there is a small organization that was put together by this older couple, Japanese couple.
Okay.
And they come together every year. They organize like a event every year for people to just learn how to shout "I love you" to their partner.
No way.
Yeah, and it's really, really sweet. But we need that push. You need that
push. Just like, come on, guys. This is how you say I love you. That is so fascinating. So this is for my personal observation, but yours may as well. Do you find that a lot of Asian, the way they actually express love, or even second generation or third generation, is not by vocal, but by act of service? They help you clean up your room. They help you, prepare everything. Is that just they don't know how to say it. They don't know how to express it. So therefore, they think if I can take care of your life, make your life easier, that's my way of showing I love you.
Yes. I mean, I think that's so deep.
Yeah.
That is, our parents' love is insane. But I think that's definitely true. I think like the classic one is amongst the Asian community is every time you have an argument with your parents, you go into your room. When you come out, there's a bowl of cut fruits. Like, I think that's the classic one, right?
That is a classic one. Yeah. They would feed
and
your
I'll
stomach.
Probably do that to my kids too.
Right on.
I think we all are. Yeah, because I do notice a patterning. It's hard for them to say sorry, even. It's hard for them to say I love you. It's hard for them to say sorry. So instead, they will, as I say, they will feed your stomach because they believe once your stomach is taken care of, you will be less hungry. So they take care of your stomach. Then they will take care of, like cleaning the room or do something for you. Right. But, like now you kind of grow up in this kind of mixed cultural. it's hard, don't you say? Sometimes you would get frustrated. Why can't you just tell me you love me?
Definitely.
Right.
But I think as humans, we yearn physical touch and just, oh, didn't know you can do that. Physical touch, and also just like hearing the words, right? Because we're very vocal animals.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what culture you are and what language you speak, hearing that, getting a little hug is so important.
Would you just go, like, if you know, like, would you just out of blue hug your parents? I mean, usually they just froze, like Asian parents.
My mom freezes all the time.
Yeah.
But every time my mom gives me a hug, I like almost cry. I'm on the verge of crying because I'm so happy.
Well, it's a big breakthrough for your mom as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like made a honest like, you know, based on what happened, incident that happened the other day, a TikTok about this, but I posted about how you know, my mom gave me, because I was back home for the holidays, and my mom gave me a compliment on my bed making skills. And then I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm hearing this. Like, you think I'm good at something? Like, I know she loves me. Like, she does everything for me. Like, she shows by action. She like makes amazing food, cut fruits, like does all the motherly things that anyone would do. But when I heard that, like, oh my God, like I forgot about everything. Like, that's all that mattered.
Oh, you were literally just educating all the audience, guys, compliment your kids. They needed it, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I'm pretty sure like short of communication is also why many of us growing up, we already struggle with sense of belonging, and we don't have that kind of, you know, compliment, things like that. Therefore, we constantly question ourselves as if we are never good enough to our parents. Maybe that's not true, but that's basically the feeling that we grow up with.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's just hearing what's the word? Like affirmation, confirmation, acknowledgement,
validation, right?
Validation,
yeah. Can I just share? This is like kind of my own personal observation. Like the difference between Western and Eastern culture is that you see this in movies, like Hollywood movies, all the time. Like people would go talk to their parents who passed. You know, they go to the gravesite and say, "Were you ever proud of me? You know, did I make you proud?" And this is so common in Western culture, but in Asian culture, you never see that. You ask instead, did I do okay? Did I make sure that I was not a disgrace to the family? It's such a different tone. Like, you just don't want to be a disgrace to your parents. Like, you didn't think of them being proud of you. That's such I ask, right? Versus Western culture, it's just like, I never think of disappointing you. I just want you to know, like, proud. I did really well. You're proud, right? Like, it's a different kind of ask. Yeah,
that's very true. I think it's so difficult, like growing up as a minority in a Western country, because you see what's on the media or what your friends are experiencing, and then what you experience at home is very different. And of course, what you experience at home, I mean, this is the same for any cultures, but it's based on generations and generations of just culture, the way of language, the way we speak to each other, being passed on, history, wars, you know. So it's a very complex issue for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, hey, we entering the era of awareness. Everybody be more aware how you talk to your kids. I mean, all they need is I've been coaching a lot of time, and really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how old my clients are. They could be 18 or they could be 50. It never change. I see the consistency of my client. All they want from their parent is I'm doing okay. like, mom, I'm doing okay, right? Dad, I'm doing okay, right? Like they are somewhat seeking for their parents to give them that, um
Approval.
yeah, that verbal, or say, yes, you've been good son, yes, you've been doing great, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what kind of environment they were be. I mean, I heard the story that they've been very abusive um upbringing, and yet they still want their parent to be sober ones and just say, you have been a great kid, right? So lot of
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of time, if we couldn't go through it, I mean, as we say, I try to coach people to be their own parent, at least say that to themselves, at least
Yeah.
able to look at the mirror and say that to yourself, say, you have done great, you have gone a
Yeah.
long way, you've done great, you know
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
And could I just
yeah.
add, that's very much in alignment with Juri, what you shared. It's
Hmm.
about being your own self advocate. It's a switch. Instead of being your biggest enemy, you can be your own biggest advocate, and you can encourage
Hmm.
yourself by telling
Yeah.
yourself that you're good enough and you've done enough, and that's job well
Yeah.
done. That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think another thing that I tell my clients to do,
Hmm.
and if that's something that's hard for you to do, like looking at
Hmm.
yourself in the mirror, to say that, I just tell them to write, like, you did enough, like on a post-it
Hmm. Hmm.
note, and then just stick it by the door wherever
Everywhere,
they can see them,
just
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah. Just to start with, because you just need to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's something, like a little fun thing that I want I
uh
tell my clients to do
This is
sometimes.
my own stack of post-it. I don't know if you can
we
see, but
cannot see it.
yeah,
We
but
cannot see it.
it's better you don't see it. But yes, I do have those little post-its. So I get it. It's very
Yeah, yeah.
powerful
No, it's
tool.
very powerful. It's self-reminder.
Yeah.
You are the better person, or the best person to brainwash yourself, because how
Yeah.
we hear our voice every day, how we internally hear our voice. So able to say that to yourself is
Mhm.
definitely impact the most. So
Yeah.
we can keep you forever. I really like to hear all your story, because I can only see how many people out there can resonate with you. I mean, even though now they look at you like, you're so beautiful, you have come a long way, they feel like they have a long way to go. But I think what Jury you try to share with other people is, I was there, have been there, done that. I was in the darkest dark, like where I don't see any light, right? I
Mhm.
believe many of the young audience out there, that's exactly what they feel. Like, what can you say to them, or what advice you can give to them? Or, if now imagine like 100 lost youth sitting in front of the monitor, listen to
Mhm.
this, interview, what would you like them to take away with?
Yeah. I think one big part,
Your dogs say,
my dogs are saying,
no, guys, if you guys ever go back and listen to the interview, I mean, you guys might think dog is noisy, but if seriously, you go back and listen to all the interview, you will notice Jury's dog only bark after my question.
Yes, and only when she's trying to answer or
When
speaks,
when
right? Like,
Jury try
yeah,
to answer something, your dog
yes,
say, "I got something to say."
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
oh my God, it's one of those days. They're very quiet usually,
No, no, no.
I
They
swear,
they
but
have a lot to say.
they
Okay.
do have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, as these guys were saying, I think the biggest thing that they want you guys to take away from this interview, and I think this goes out particularly for communities that struggle to express themselves, and struggle with the whole concept of not being okay, like not allowing to be sad, not allowing to be depressed, because it's not a worthy feeling to have. But I think the biggest thing is to acknowledge that and it's okay to acknowledge that, feel safe to acknowledge that, and it's okay. Especially in this modern generation, there's more conversation of mental health,
Yeah.
more conversation of wellness. But it's okay to have someone pass you this flashlight until you get to that end of the tunnel where you see the light yourself.
Oh, that's so
beautiful.
beautiful. Yes.
I'm actually pretty impressed by this analogy. Like I just came up with
it. Wow, great job. As you guys can see, this is live broadcast. We didn't edit it. All the question is very spontaneous. So Juri, oh my God, that's great.
But honestly, I think it just starts with you, right? Acknowledging and accepting.
Yeah. No. So if you guys are hanging there, reach out. All I'm saying is reach out. A lot of people, when you deal with the difficulty, you all try to figure things out yourself, right? If you can figure things out yourself, you wouldn't get to this place in the first place. So there's a reason why people are next to you. There are a lot of people out there try to help you, but they cannot help you unless you reach out. So, always reach out. And I truly believe there's the light on the other side of the tunnel for everybody. Right. So, I was very thankful for you to join. I want to show it. I just saw this picture. I just need to show it. I mean,
that surprised me.
No, I have to. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to waste those beautiful pictures. That's you being the cover of the magazine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that would ever happen.
No. It's so nice. Why?
Yeah. I mean, if I was...
my favorite? I like this one. That's why I use this.
I like that too.
This is such an authentic smile. You cannot fake that.
Yeah. I was having fun, like so much fun at the shoot.
No,
but if someone told me like...
so beautiful. My God.
Glamorous.
I don't think I would have imagined like being here and being that happy at the age of 18, for sure.
Really?
Even 20, 21. Yeah.
Wow. You have come a long way. I mean, look at you. I love the smile. I would just say look more, very authentic and very truth, very, real. So yeah. So yeah.
Thank you,
anyway,
for sure.
Sorry, we should get up. But I'm like, no. I don't want to waste the good picture. They are so nice. I want everybody to have a glimpse of it.
Much.
So yeah. Oh, anyway, thank you, Juri Watanabe. If any of you would like to search her up and follow her, this is her IG. I believe if they just Google your name, they can find you, right?
Yes, they can find her on all the different social media platforms. So, and then you can also find her on her professional IG handle.
Yes, that would be this one, Sync Up Beauty. So, you can Google her up. It's Juri Watanabe or Sync Up Beauty. And thank you, Shirley from Spark Whimsy, for connecting us. Again, wonderful story. I wish you all your success. And then Juri do offer consultations inside or outside. If you want to be beautiful, check her out. Then you will be able to get a little bit tip from her, like how to be beautiful inside out. I actually... This is what I tell my fan once, and you will have a big laugh at it. When how Asian, they don't have confidence. They always slouch, right? So I literally say, if you don't know how to start to be a confident, then start wearing high heel. And then
I agree.
Why high heel? I say, because it's, mechanically speaking, once you wear high heel, you cannot slouch.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Really? You try to prove me wrong? Oh my God, you are a dangerous piece.
No, but I do agree with I had terrible posture when I wore heels, so it was something that I had to work on. Yeah,
it's not possible.
It is so. I think you have some sort of superpower. Like, it is so possible to have bad posture with heels. Like,
okay, sorry guys, Juri.
Otherwise, I think my job would not exist.
That is true. You literally just proved me wrong. So anyway, well, thank you for coming to our interview, and then thank you for sharing your wonderful story with us. And so many of you do look her up. And I'm pretty sure you can get some, spill over joys or confidence from her then, since high heel now doesn't work. Okay? So, Teal, you got a last minute. You have something to say?
No, I just am so thankful for this hour. I very much enjoyed your company. I know it's virtual, but this has been so much fun.
No, I enjoy your company. Yes.
Thank you. But I appreciate everyone's time. And thank you so much for asking me about my story. And I hope this helps with people who feel less alone.
Yeah, I think your story is, everybody will resonate with it and they can really get something out of it. So thank you for sharing. So Teal, thank you guys for tuning in. And till next time, we'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Bye.